Hello, my fiery friends. Welcome to another Fiery Fun stream. I am your host, the Infernoman here, and hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Wow, can you believe it? We actually managed to pull off today back-to-back streams. Don't get too used to that because today just worked out in that favor. So we're going to have a little bit of fun today with one deck that I've been excited to build and actually hopefully pull together. I actually would love to put this together in paper, but it might be a little expensive. Still, what deck exactly are we talking about today? Well, this also kind of leads me to one thing that I will talk about, of course, once we jump into it. So without further ado, let's just go into it right now and explain to you what exactly are we playing. Hold on one second. Where am I at? Whoop, there we go. Awesome. Okay, so as you already know, they're already talking about Spider-Man cards, and even even one avatar card was revealed from yesterday, and also on top of that, we're getting Edge of Eternities. So this is right now, what is it? Friday Night Magic. This weekend is going to be pre-release weekend for Edge of Eternities. I'm super excited for that one. Unfortunately, I will not make it again to a actual pre-release event, but those of you that do manage to go to pre-release hopefully have a lot of fun. But before we get to any of that, I still wanted to do at least one more Final Fantasy themed deck, at least before we kind of set the sun on this set. Don't get me wrong, I've had a lot of fun with it. Unfortunately, we just didn't have enough time to get through every single Final Fantasy card that I would love to build around. Maybe in the future we'll reach out again to the Final Fantasy set in the future. But before we go, of course, completely say farewell to this before we get ready for rotation, Edge of Eternities, Spider-Man, and all the other jazz that's coming out for the rest of the year, we wanted to, of course, do one splashy, fun send-off for this set. So that's where we're at today. Join me today in the Brawl format for another fun, casual deck, a deck that I put together that is called the Saga of Terra. So this is what we're going to be at, everyone. A 5-color Saga Commander deck. We've already done in the past, actually, a Tom Bombadil deck. That one did okay. There were a little bit of some mistakes I made on building that one. So we're going to learn from that experience a couple months ago when we did Tom Bombadil, and we're going to try to apply it to Terra here, and I think we actually put together something that's going to be super duper jazzy. This is going to be great for us. Oh, Dan Splendid, you have arrived. Thanks again for joining us today, my fiery friend. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. So, as always, before we get started, we just want to remind you again, for those of you that are new to the stream, those of you who are new to this or watching on the replay, we'll go over the stats of the deck first off. We'll go over every single card in the entire deck. That means every single one. Yes, I do mean every single one. And then, of course, we'll play as many matches as we can with the budget version of the deck, and then we will upgrade the deck to see how well we can go if we want to take this deck to the next level with a little bit more in the budget itself. The budget for this one, I believe right now is, well, I will say right now, originally when I built this deck, it was just under $100, and I believe it's like about, what, 13 rares? Borny Man, hello, my fiery friend. Thanks again for joining us today. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. You're about to see right now, we're going to go over this deck in just a moment here. But I was just going to say right now, yeah, originally the deck's budget version of this was under $100, but unfortunately some of the Final Fantasy cards did spike. So the deck is a little higher than what I wanted to do. So I think right now this deck is sitting at about $125 and 13 rares to build. So 13 rares on Arena. So it is a budget on Arena, but in paper it might cost you a little bit more than I was anticipating. Still, this is still going to be a fun one today. So let's go ahead, let's jump into the stats before we go completely all into it and explain everything. So let's go over, as I just mentioned right now, longtime viewers of the channel know how we do it. We have to talk about the stats of the deck before we dive right in. So Saga of Terra today, a 5-color budget commander, is going to be, well, it is all 5 colors. And of course, that means we're going to have an average mana curve. It's a little bit high at 3.0. We're going to be looking at a total of 18 creatures in the deck. We have 10 instants, 10 sorceries, 2 artifacts, 37 enchantments. I know that's a lot, but we definitely want to try to go critical mass on our enchantments. And of course, 30 lands. The 30 lands is a little deceiving because we do have a lot of modal lands. So that's what's going to kind of help us fulfill out this the rest of the budget itself. So for those that don't know, Terra here, Magical Adept, this is an awesome card, by the way. Actually, I will also disclose, I would love to get a copy of this, although actually I will say it right now. She's not right here right now, but Mrs. Inferno, so yeah, the wife actually did crack a copy of this card, and I've been trying my hardest to trade with her, and she doesn't want to trade this card. But that means I just don't want to have to spend 10 bucks on this card. But seriously though, it's an awesome card, by the way. So Terra, Magical Adept. It's on the front side. It looks like just a Gruul card. So it is, of course, 3 and 4 and 2. It's a legendary creature, human, wizard, warrior. Cool typing, by the way. And it says, when Terra enters, mill 5 cards. Put up to 1 enchantment card milled this way into your hand. So the cool part about that is it doesn't have to be a saga, but you're going to see right now we want to go into sagas as much as possible. Still having some enchantments in general are still going to be beneficial for us. Then she has the trance ability. So for 6, then you can then exile her, tapping her, and then return her to the battlefield, transformed under its owner's control. You can only do this, however, at sorcery speed, but that's perfectly fine for us. Then you flip her into Esper Terra. So Esper Terra now becomes a saga creature, so it's now just a saga wizard. And it says, in the first 3 chapters, create a token that's a copy of target non-legendary enchantment you control. It gains haste, and if it's a saga, you can put up to 3 lore counters on it. You have to sacrifice it, though, at the beginning of the next end step. So basically, you get to create another copy of whatever saga we have. Pretty much all of our sagas are non-legendary, so this can mean anything we can have, and it's going to be amazing for us. Oh, thanks again for that follow, Borny Man. I really appreciate that. Thank you again for your support, and hopefully you'll have a lot of fun watching us today. So then once we get to part 4 of this is again where the fun part comes in. So at the 4th part, if we make it that far, we get double Wooburg. So again, double white, blue, black, and green. You then exile Terra Esper version and then return her to the battlefield, flip back over into her original form. So amazing card. Once you can get this going off, it's basically going to be game over for us. It's actually really crazy how really cool this card is. The reason why I kind of like this one versus Tom Bombadil as the Saga Commander is Tom is good. I'm not going to say he's a bad card, but you definitely need a little bit more of a higher budget for Tom to really get him effectively working. Not to mention because Tom is also harder to cast because he literally is Wooburg in order for him to do his thing. However, with Terra here, she's a lot easier. She's cheaper. She can flip for a much easier cost. So honestly, I think she is a better 5-color enchantment saga commander overall. If I was to build her in the future, I will build with her in mind. So we'll see why I want her in the first place here. So let's go over the cards real quick. So starting in the 1-drops, we have Clash of the Icons here. Or is it Icons? Icons? I don't know. You get the idea, everybody. Any case, for sorcery speed, uses either as a fight mechanic, or you can remove some lore counters on a saga we control, or you can put a lore counter on a saga. So really great flexibility for us for that overall. Oh, Morning Man, you run Tom Bombadil as a commander. Oh, that's cool. How do you like him so far? I mean, we played him ourselves a couple months ago. I think I probably built the deck maybe poorly, so I'm not going to hate on Tom here. Great card. He's just a little bit clunky for me because when I play mostly budget, he doesn't work as well at least on a budget. He definitely wants to be much more higher powered. He really wants you to invest a lot into a stronger mana base for him. But overall, I think you could actually run both in the same deck. You could probably even interchange them, and your deck would still be amazing no matter what. At least that's how I see it. But for today, and again, because we want to give a nice little farewell to, well, I guess you could say a final Fantasy to Final Fantasy itself. So that's why we're going to be playing with Terra today. Our next card anyway, go forth here. So instant speed, you can either dig out a basic land, put it into our hand, or give a creature +2/+2 until end of turn. So either pump spell, or it's going to be great for us just to, again, do some pseudo ramping. Thirsting Roots here, also an amazing card for us. Same thing, sorcery speed, however, but you can dig out a basic land, or you can proliferate. Proliferating with this deck right here with Sagas is a fantastic thing to do. So great card at any point in the game. Now we're getting to the 2-drops here, so it's going to be quite a bit here, everybody. Oh, Borny Man. He's very situational, which actually isn't a downside in my opinion. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. I'm just saying that when I originally built him, I built him on a budget, and the budget was kind of tight, so it kind of made him feel like he was not that impressive. But when he goes off, it is insane how well he can do. But honestly, I would say both of them are fantastic in the same deck. I would say however you want to build it, however, you might want to do some small tweaks, but from what we see today, hopefully we'll perform well. Terra or Tom, both are great for you as Saga commanders. I would say if I had the money for it, I would just go all out and just play with both. I think they're both going to be fun. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go over the rest of the cards as fast as we can, everybody. So, lots of Sagas here. We're going to start off with the budget version. So this is Era of Enlightenment here. Scry 2. Part 2 is you gain 2 life. Part 3, exile it, flip it into an enchantment human monk with first strike. So pretty simple there. Flicker of Fate is great for us because we can reset either one of our enchantment sagas or one of our creatures and bring it back to the battlefield for better ETB triggers, or just again resetting any one of our sagas to do more shenanigans. Michigo's Reign of Truth, great pump for us because we're going to get a ton of artifacts and enchantments out, and then once we flip it, it becomes Portrait of Michigo, one of my favorite sagas, by the way, on a budget here. Gets 1+1/+1 for each artifact and enchantment we control. We're going to have a ton of power with this card if it stays out. Sedri Shelter here and Sedri Glacier here, either it's a protection spell or it's a tap land for us. Birth of Meletus here helps us dig out a basic plains, and then we can create a wall, and then we can gain 2 life with our card, so great for stabilization and protection. Triumph of Jared here. First 2 parts here, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature we control with the greatest power, and then target creature we control with the greatest power will also get a bonus of flying, lifelink, and first strike until end of turn. Gadwick's First Duel here. You could put a curse roll token onto one target creature here. Mostly this is just going to be a nice way to nerf one of our opponent's creatures. Scry 2 on the part 2 part. And part 3, when you cast an instant or sorcery spell with a mana value of 3 or less, copy the spell, and you may choose new targets for the copy. Mono Musa, salutations. Hello, my fiery friend. Thanks again for joining us today. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Let's see. Okay, and we're just running. And again, for those that are joining us right now, again, we're just going over all the cards in the deck, so it's going to be a little bit of time, but I'm going to go through this quick so I can just keep up with the chat, everybody. Milodomi's Prophecy here, 2 mana. Part 1, scry 2. Part 2, choose a card name. Part 3, when you cast the spell with the chosen name, draw 2 cards. And then Part 4, look at the top card of each player's library, helping you kind of set up what you're going to be trying to do and hopefully getting value out of that saga. Tamio meets the story circle here. Part 1, until your next turn, whenever a creature you can attacks you or a planeswalker, it gets -2, -0 until end of turn, so softening up a target here. Part 2, discard any number of cards, then investigate twice for each card discarded this way, so great for, again, creating some of those clue tokens. We can help out with some other effects. And then Part 3, shuffle up to 3 target cards from your graveyard into your library. So again, helps us kind of reset a couple of things we want to use. The Modern Age here, draw a card and discard a card for the first 2 parts. Part 3, exile the saga, bring it back as a spirit that's a 2/3 with flying. Bitter Triumph here is one of our few spot removal cards, but it is helpful for us because sometimes we do want to discard certain enchantments into the graveyard to reanimate them. You'll see what I mean in just a bit. Otherwise, just destroy target creature or planeswalker or pay 3 life for it. Heartless Act is also one of our spot removal cards. Destroy up to a target creature with no counters on it. But the real sweet part is we can also remove up to 3 counters from a target creature. This can also be sweet because our enchantment saga creatures can also get their counters reset to also reutilize them for more value. The Witch's Vanity, another one of our sagas here. Destroy a target creature when an opponent controls a mana value of 2 or less. Part 2, create a food token. And Part 3, create a Wicked token attached to a target creature we control. So again, another aura roll. Great for us overall for pumping up our enchantments. Azuz's Many Journeys here. 2 mana, play an additional land on your turn. Part 2, gain 3 life. And Part 3, exile it and transform it into the likeness of the Seeker. What that means, whenever this creature becomes blocked, untap 3 lands you control. So great for us, again, for some pseudo ramping. Into the north here, dig out a base. You can dig out a snowland, put it onto the battlefield tapped, which kind of segues, of course, into the fact that our mana base here is going to be a little tweaked to take advantage of snowlands. So that's why actually we have that in there. Rampant Growth here helps us dig out a basic land for 2 mana, put it onto the battlefield. Sylvan Scrying, also more ramp for us, helping us dig out any land we want, putting it into our hand. The Binding of the Titans here, mill 3 cards for Part 1. Part 2, exile up to 2 target cards from a graveyard, and for each creature card, you gain 1 life, so great for pseudo graveyard hate. And then finally, Part 3, return a target land or a creature card from our graveyard to our hand. So good for us to recur some stuff. Welcome to Sweet Tooth here, creates us for us a human token, then creates a food token at Part 2, and then Part 3, put X +1/+1 counters on target creature we control, where X is the number of foods we control. Not a huge pump here, but still great for us overall. Oh, Borny Man, all of the face-up sagas I run are the ones with removal on Chapter 1. That way I have consistency, and when I get the turn, my sagas resolve. Ooh, that's actually that's a slick way of actually putting together the sagas. I have to may have to reevaluate that later on. Something to consider, and I will put a pin on that for myself for the end of the stream. So yeah, we'll see if that actually might be something that we'll have to definitely consider for this if we upgrade this deck. But we'll talk about that again a little bit later on. Anyways, continuing on, we have Gremlin Tamer here, Human Scout. It has the Eerie ability. So that means whenever an enchantment we control enters, and whenever we fully unlock a room, create a 1/1 red Gremlin creature token. We don't really have any rooms in the deck, but we have plenty of we have plenty of enchantment sagas, so that's going to be good for us to help us go wide with some tokens if we just need to. Inquisitive Glimmer here, a Fox Glimmer enchantment that says enchantment spells we control cost 1 less to cast. We don't care again about the unlocking because we don't really have any rooms, but again, making our enchantments cheaper is going to be good for us overall. Rydia, Summer of Mist here, one of our key cards that helps us out with sagas, has a landfall ability. Anytime a land we control enters, discard a card and draw a card. We can then resummon with X and tapping Rydia here to bring back a saga card with a mana value of X or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. You have to put a finality counter on it. However, that's actually not too bad. Also, you can only do this at sorcery speed, but that's again perfectly fine for our deck. I really like this card. It's an amazing card, and some even argue you probably even could put this into its own standalone budget Gruul saga deck. But again, that's a whole nother deck tech for a whole nother time. If you do want to see Rydia, of course, I did put together a actual Una deck with enchantments a couple weeks ago, so check that out if you haven't already done so. Going on, of course, we have Follow the Imposter here. Put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature for those first two parts. And part 3, exile a creature with the greatest power among creatures target opponent controls. So good for us for spot removal once we get our game plan going. Garnet, Princess of Alexandria here, another amazing Final Fantasy card for us that also goes well with sagas. She has lifelink, she's a 2/2 human noble cleric that reads, when she attacks, you may remove a lore counter from each of any number of sagas we control, put a +1/+1 counter on Garnet for each lore counter removed this way. She actually can overperform if an opponent is not prepared for her, because definitely she can get big, she gains life, so hopefully we can stabilize with her, and this helps us reset sagas to get more value out of them. Jukai Naturalist here, simple little lifelinker, human monk that says enchantment spells we cast are one less to cast, so great for us for cheapening our costs. Of course, it couldn't be any enchantment deck unless we have Sithis here. I know some people don't like Sithis, but even as it is, she's pretty good for the budget that we're running on today, so she's definitely going to be a great card for us because it just helps us gain life, helps us draw cards every time we cast a single enchantment. Good for us overall. Arcane Signet, we are a 5-color deck. We want to stabilize as best as possible, so this is going to be a staple for us. Swiftfoot Boots here. Ideally, you will want to attach it to any one of our key cards that you do want to protect. It doesn't necessarily have to be Terra, but it can be helpful if you do want Terra to kind of slowly go off. Ideally, put it on Tom Bombadil is mostly what I would recommend until Tom can start going off, and then move the boots to another key creature you want to keep alive. Whew, okay, going on to the third drop slot here. Now, we have Scroll Shift here. You, again, use it to then bounce something back and forth like Flicker of Fate, but this also works with enchantments as well. Enchantments, artifacts, and creatures all get the same effect for us, where you just blink it and bring it back, and you also get to draw a card out of the deal. So again, same thing, just helps us reset our enchantment sagas. Fall of Lord Konda here. Part 1, exile a creature an opponent controls with a mana value of 4 or greater. Part 2, gain control of all permanents you own. So this is good for us overall, just to make sure that we can just keep what we have, so that way nothing gets stolen. And then finally, exile this saga, then bring it back as a defender wall, so it's a human noble, and when it dies, just simply draw a card. Again, just provides for us more cheap value. Hydroelectric Specimen here, use this as a way to retarget a single instant or sorcery spell to it, so that way we can kind of maybe, take the heat off spot removal or whatever, or you can use it as a land in a pinch. Signet is super, same thing, helps us with tempo plays, just return a spell or a non-land permanent an opponent controls to their hand, or again, use it as a land as you need to. Boggart Trawler here, again, it can either be a land for us, or you can use it as Graveyard Hate, which is great for us to exile an opponent's graveyard. Elspeth's Nightmare here, it enters, destroys a creature with power 2 or less. Part 2, you can use it as discard to remove a non-land, non-creature card from an opponent's hand. And then finally, additional Graveyard Hate for Part 3 by exiling an opponent's graveyard. Toxic Deluge is one of our few wraths in the deck here. We do have to pay X amount of life, but also all creatures will get -X until end of turn. It's at sorcery speed, so just be aware of that if you do want to use it. Fable of the Mirror Breaker is probably again one of our strongest sagas here. Create a 2/2 red Goblin Shaman for part 1. You can discard some cards on part 2 to then draw some cards, and then finally flip it into a reflection of Kiki Jiki. I mean, I'm pretty sure I don't have to explain this one, but once this can go off, all of our non-legendary creatures, including our creature sagas, can be copied. So this can be insane with certain creature sagas we will have. Speaking of those, one of our few ones here, we have a Saga Demon here, an enchantment creature, summon Ifrit. So then same thing, first 2 parts, discard a card, draw a card. Part 3 and 4, add some red mana. We also have Sundering Eruption here, destroy a land, and then you can then force an opponent to dig out a basic land. Sometimes we might want to use it on ourselves depending on what our opponent does, but realistically, it's mostly just again for land hate. You can also use it as a land itself. Bala Ged Recovery here helps us pull out a card from our graveyard back to our hand, pretty much any card, so that's good for us. And then finally, you can use it as a tap land if you want to. Same with Bridgework Battle here. Use it as the fight mechanic to then take out something at spot removal at sorcery speed, or you can use this to simply just, again, be a land for you. Spelunking, of course, kind of helps us mitigate some of the issues our budget deck is going to have, which is a ton of tap lands. So when Spelunking is out, lands we control will enter untapped. We don't have any caves in the deck, so we don't really worry about the gain 4 life. But of course, when it enters, you can still draw a card and put an additional land from our hand onto the battlefield. Story Weave here in the 3-drop slot, instant speed, put 2+1/+1 counters on a creature we control, or put 2 lore counters on a saga we control. The next time one of our more enchantment creatures we control enters, they also get 2 additional +1/+1 counters. So great for us for, again, pumping up our stuff no matter what we do. Summon Fenrir here. Part 1, dig out a basic land. Part 2, then when you cast your next creature spell, it enters with a +1/+1 counter. And Part 3, draw a card if you control creatures with the greatest power or tied for the greatest power. And then we'll have also here in the 3-drop slot, Weatherseed Treaty here. Sorry, I'm messing up my words. You can either use it to then help out dig out a basic land. So again, more ramping. Part 2, create a sapling creature token. And Part 3, with the domain ability, target creature we control will get +X/+X and trample until end of turn, where X is the number of basic lands we control. We'll also be utilizing here Cosmic Rebirth. At instant speed, pick out a permanent card from our graveyard, and if it has a mana value of 3 or less, put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, if it's higher than that, just put it into our hand and still gain 3 life. Satyr Enchanter here, similar to, again, going to be Sithis, although it's a little bit more expensive, and also it's cheaper at the same time, so budget friendly, but also good for us. 3 mana, 2/2 Satyr Druid. Anytime we cast an enchantment, simply draw a card. We'll take a quick pause here because I do want to catch up with the chat, so I'll apologize for that. Let's see, Mono Musa. Honestly, my favorite enchantment card is Enigmatic Incarnation. Oh, okay, so you're one of those that tries to get a ton of value off of just trying to sacrifice enchantments and then bringing in bigger stuff. Not, again, a card I use too often here, but it is incredibly powerful, all things considered. However, for our budget today, we'll have to maybe look at that maybe for the non-budget version, but something to think about. Good thing you brought that up. I totally forgot about that card for just a moment. Okay, we're going to try to wrap this up as fast as we can, everybody, so we're almost done, and then I swear, we'll get into some games. So, on the 4-drop slot here, we have Rich Enchanter here. It either is a land, or you can use it to just be Artifact Enchantment Hate. The Bath Song here is going to allow us to draw some cards and discard a card for the first 2 parts. Part 3, shuffle any number of cards from our graveyard into our library, and then add some blue mana. Time of Ice for the first 2 parts allows us to tap down a target creature an opponent controls. They can't untap for a turn. And then also after part 3, we turn all the tap lands back to our owner's hand. So again, just kind of slow, very slow tempo, but works for us. Long Reach of the Night here for the first 2 parts. Each opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice unless they discard a card. Part 3, you flip it into an enchantment spirit that's a 0/4 with Menace. And the Animus of Night's Reach allows us to then say whenever this creature attacks, it gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the number of creature cards defending player's graveyard has. So good for us again, but it really is situational. Fel the Profane here, great for us for spot removal in the 4-drop slot here, or you can again use it as a land. Corvald the Noble Thief here, first 2 parts, creates a treasure token. And the 3rd part, you exile the top 3 cards in an opponent's library, and basically you can cast those cards if you like to, or even play the lands if they have them. Supreme Verdict is our only other Wrath in the deck here. It is uncounterable, and it destroys all creatures. Binding of the Old Gods, another solid saga for us. First part, destroy a non-land permanent. Part 2, dig out a forest card and put it onto the battlefield. And then finally, part 3, creatures we control will gain Death Touch until end of turn. Yenna Red Tooth Regent here, another one of our amazing cards for the deck. It's an Elf Noble, it's a 4/4. Tap her and 2 mana to then choose an enchantment we control that doesn't have the same name as another permanent we control, and create a token that's a copy of it, except it isn't legendary. If the token is an aura, untap Yenna and then scry 2. You can only activate this, however, at sorcery speed. Amazing for us, again, just to keep copying stuff and get more value. Leyline of the Guild pack here. If this is in our opening hand, then things get really, really easy for us to fix our mana, but that's fine if you don't have it. Either way, if you play this card when it's on the battlefield, every non-land permanent we control is all colors, and then lands we control are every basic land type in addition to their other types, so great for fixing for us. At the 5-drop slot here, Ajani Fel the Godsire. Part 1, exile a creature with an opponent controls power 3 or greater. You then create a 2/1 Cat Warrior creature token at part 2, and then part 3, target creature we controls gains double strike until end of turn. Tale of Tinuvel is going to be also in the 5-drop slot here. Target creature we control will gain indestructible as long as we control the saga. Then finally, part 2, return a creature card from our graveyard to the battlefield, so great for reanimation. And finally, part 3, up to 2 target creatures we control gain lifelink until end of turn. Also, we'll have here Summon Shiva. For the first 2 parts here, Heavenly Strike means that we tap target creature and opponent controls and put a stun counter on them. Finally, part 3, draw a card for each tapped creature your opponent controls. The Eldest Reborn, another amazing, awesome saga for us. Each opponent has to sacrifice a creature or planeswalker of their choice. Part 2, they have to discard a card. And part 3, put a creature card or a planeswalker card from any graveyard onto the battlefield for us. Brawl and the Implicit Maze here allows us to deal 2 damage to each creature and planeswalker, so a small little wrath for us. And then finally, you can discard cards at part 2. If you do, exile the top 2 cards of our library, and then you can play the cards. And then part 3, you create a Spellgorger weird creature token, where every time it gets a +1/+1 counter, anytime you cast a non-creature spell. Summon Titan here, mill 5 cards. Part 2, return all land cards from our graveyard to the battlefield tap for great for ramping. Part 3, until the end of turn, another target creature we control will gain trample and XX, where X is the number of lands we control. This Saga Giant has reach and trample, and it's a 7/7, so that's pretty huge. One of the other main stars of the show here, Yuna, Hope of Spira. We've talked about this card from our other previous deck that did shine, mostly focusing on her. Is a human cleric here. She's 3/5, gives all of our enchantment creatures we control during our turn trample, lifelink, and ward 2. Great for us for protection purposes. And of course, at the beginning of our end step, bring back a target enchantment we control from our graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter. Amazing for us to start bringing back all of our stuff for free. Roar of Endless Song here. This teamer from the Dragonstorm said, was it? Yeah, it was Dragonstorm. Okay, so yeah. Create a 5/5 elephant creature token for the first 2 parts, and then finally part 3, double the power and toughness of each creature we control until end of turn. Of course, I mentioned earlier, we do have Tom Bombadil on the deck, so Wooburg for a God Bard here. And as long as there are 4 or more lore counters among sagas we control, Tom will have hexproof and indestructible, and anytime the final chapter of an ability of a saga we control does resolve, we then start revealing cards from the top of our library until we get another saga out and get it onto the battlefield for free. We can only do this once a turn, but that's again a ton of value from Tom himself. And then finally, one of our actual sneaky pieces here to end games quickly here, Summon Primal Odin. 6 mana for this enchantment saga, Saga Knight. It's a 5/3 that says we can destroy a creature, so it's spot removal for the part 1. Part 2, this creature gains whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game. So this can be a great way to close out a game out of nowhere. And if it makes it to part 3, draw 2 cards, and each player will lose 2 life. And then finally, give me one more second here, everybody, we're almost done. It's going to be, of course, all the 5-color enchantment lands we can do. I'm sorry, any of the 5-color lands in a giant hodgepodge just to make sure we can get all of this cast off. So we're going to be using snow lands because we're also using Into the North here for that purpose. So plains, islands, found forest, swamps, you get the idea there. And of course, all the tapped snow lands we can muster up. So that's pretty much all 10 of them here. And then finally, of course, we'll have a copy of the World Tree just to make sure we can fix ourselves a little bit more. We'll throw an Arid Archway. We can bounce back any one of our modal lands that's out there on the battlefield, and then we can kind of reutilize them. So that's actually why we have that. Ash Barrens here is going to help us, again, just for fetching purposes, along with Escape Tunnel, Evolving Wilds, Terramorphic Expanse. If we want to get out specific lands, we have Urza's Cave here. Nesting Grounds is excellent for our deck because we can move some of those permanent lore counters around to other sagas and then re-trigger more stuff in value. Command Terra, of course, is going to be a staple. Demolition Field for non-basic land hate. And that's basically the whole deck for everybody. Whew! Okay. I do apologize, everyone. I try not to take too long on that, but anytime we do Brawl decks, I have to talk about every card because I want to make sure everyone knows what is up. So thanks again for joining us on that, everybody. Don't worry, we're actually going to get into the games at long last. So no more stalling for me. I'm going to shut up for a little bit so that way you guys can see how well the deck does. Do not worry, though. Halfway through the stream, we will be doing the upgraded version in just a little bit. But first, let's see if we can pull off some wins with our budget version here. All right? So I'm super duper excited for this deck, everybody. Hopefully we'll get some fun wins with this one. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, of course, overall. And hopefully, again, we'll get a chance to get a couple of victories here and there. Okay, let me see if I can catch up with the chat for a bit. Let's see. Barney Man, Yana goes infinite with Terra. That's right, she does. But of course, that's why we had to put her in there. So it's going to be amazing. I don't know if we're going to pull off that combo. I hope we can. But even if we don't, it should still be amazing. Mono Musa, I have a legendary enchantment creature Go Shintai Commander, Barina Vendrell, Tom Bombadil, and Joda that abuses Enigmatic. I got lucky and got Bahamut, Terra, and Yuna from packs 2. Wow, that's some good hits there. Honestly, okay, and I'll mention right now, although my wife, Mrs. Inferno, doesn't actually play Magic, I do get her pack sometimes, and I swear, sometimes she gets way luckier than I do. She actually got from a pack, she also got Bahamut, and she got Terra, so I kept thinking maybe I can build for her a Saga deck in the future, if she actually wants to play. Hint, hint. We'll get her to play someday, don't worry. We're going to make that happen. But otherwise, until then, let's see here. All right, so we have our modal lands, and we have a forest here. It's going to be a little slow. Or maybe we might want to mulligan. Let's mulligan. Let me get something better. Okay. Well, the escape tunnel is a little slow here, but at least we can fix to what we need. So I think we can pull this off here. So let's see. How do we want to do this here? We're going to get the Binding of the Titans first. So get that tap land. All right, opponents. What you got? Medicant. Ooh, I like this card. I actually do have this in my... I have a 4-color artifact deck, so Medicant is in there, and I do like robots. So we'll definitely do a robot deck once we get to Edge of Eternities. That is coming soon, so stick around for that, everybody. That's going to be a lot of fun. So, yeah, Mono Musa, it sounds like you are a huge fan of enchantment decks. Is that like your main thing? Do you enjoy that? Okay, ooh, Azusa's Many Journeys is actually good for us. This is perfect right now. Alright, we'll get an additional land out, so we'll put down Escape Tunnel. And the Alpine Meadow. Okay, there we go. We're good here. And pass. Alright, opponent. They've got Karn Bastion. Okay, they want to proliferate too. Interesting. Alright, Psy Master Thopters. Okay, so they're going to start making a bunch of Thopters. Opponent. Do you swing? I mean, it's a free hit. So they take the first hit on us. Starter Engines goes with number 2. We will sacrifice this land, so we've got to fix to what we need. Okay, what do we want right now? So we got white, we have blue. Black here. Probably won't need it yet, but let's get that swamp out now while we can. Witch Enchanter. Ooh. This actually is going to be hilarious here, so we'll cast this now. So their core is gone. So Commander out. So that gives us time now. A little bit. Well, we say, yep, I actually really do. Though I mostly like getting things out for cheap. Okay, so you do like to sneak things out for free. Have you gotten a copy of Yuna yet? Because I would think Yuna is definitely right up your alley in terms of trying to get stuff out for free. And also, she supports enchantments perfectly. And also, I do see that there are some friends also joining us over there on Instagram as well. So I do see Simply Herc. Thanks again for joining us, my fiery friend. Born in 91, and AWB, the hobbyist, joined us also from there. I do apologize, you guys. I can't, for some reason, I'll have to figure out unless if someone knows that there's software that allows us to put all the chats from X, from Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch all into one chat, let me know. I would probably like to get more people involved in the chats. But until then, we'll just work with what we got. All right, so in the meantime here, let us play Melidomi's Prophecy. We'll scry so we can start fixing up our stuff. Okay, so we do have... The Elspeth's Nightmare will be more helpful for us. And then from there, let's get Terra going. Since we now have a free shot to get her in. We'll mill. But this will allow us to get that Elspeth's Nightmare now into our hand. Okay, no attacks yet. If we can get one more land, then we would be set to start flipping Terra here. And we'll have some hilarious shenanigans going off. We also have Yenna in hand, so this is great. Let's see. Can we pull this off here? I would like to see if we can do this. Veldomite. Ooh. Alright, opponent. Didn't want us to get too cheeky there, so they destroyed all of our stuff, but that's fine. We still have time. Witch's Vanity is also good, too. To choose card names. So, what do we want on the next turn here? I guess... Here's how we'll do this. We're going to name... I need Terra back on the field, so... I'm going to actually name her... Hold on. There we go. There she is. Okay. So we'll name Terra for next turn. In the meantime... Elspeth's Nightmare. Destroying Psy. Binding of the Titans. Oh man, actually if we had Tom too, that actually would be sweet. Okay, so we're gonna mill. Ooh. We got rid of Ugin there, so that's good. Phew. He actually would have been a problem for our deck. Alright. Teferi. Ugh. Not what I wanted to see right now, but okay. We'll find a way to get around Teferi. I don't know how, but we'll try. They go up to 4th gear now. I'm going to say 4th gear. I know it says max speed, but I'm going to say 4th gear. It makes more sense to me to say that. Alright, we will exile. Make sure they don't get Ugin. Make sure they don't get Psy back. So we exile those. Make our opponent also discard. Okay. What do we want to deal with? Oh, they have a lot of stuff in hand that I don't want to deal with. Eternal Wanderer is not horrible. I think we want to get rid of the Wrath. Alright, Terra's coming back. We draw 2. That helps us out a bit. Mill some more. Let's see. Get that Binding of the Old Gods. Tree line goes down. Okay. Well, we definitely have a lot of sagas going. We just need a way to start building up that value. Although Teferi is not going to make this easy. Because Teferi will just allow our opponent to keep digging. They do have a lot of stuff for us to deal with here. That white aura site also is a problem for us. Because I imagine they'll probably exile Terra, but we can still keep our sagas going, and that's mostly what we want to do. We want to just keep a consistent chain of sagas going, because eventually they'll keep building up for us value. Yep, there it is. So where does it go? Yep, Terra, of course. Can't have her do her thing, of course, but that's fine. Okay, they turned on the land there. It's interesting. I don't know why they did that, but okay. Whatevs. Monomusa. Yes, I love reanimating quite a lot. Okay. Well, if you haven't already done so, we did make our own Naya Reanimator enchantment deck a couple weeks ago. If you haven't already seen that one, you totally should. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, opponents already gave up? Okay. I mean, I'll take the win. Oh, opponents, we were just getting started. We barely got that match going there, and I was ready to kind of start going off. But okay. A win's a win, so... yay, I'll take the win. Okay, well, maybe our opponent just didn't want to deal with our steady stream of sagas. All right, that's cool. I'll take it. I'll take a win. All right, so let's keep the good times rolling. So first victory of the day, everybody. Again, wasn't a crazy turn, but you did see, once we start getting our sagas going, I mean, sagas are great. They do provide so much value for not too much of an investment. Some of them, of course, are going to be better than others, but it really is situational. And I know the hard part about probably, I would say, building a multicolored saga deck, as you can kind of see, you definitely have access to all the sagas in 5 colors, but then because you have access, you kind of feel also limited because you're not sure what you should or shouldn't cut. So your mileage varies, but don't worry. We will go all out in a little bit to see, like, if you really want to go nuts with it, you definitely totally should. Okay, so in the meantime here, let's see. We have our hodgepodge here. So let's see how we do this. Okay, we'll play the escape tunnel first. Our opponent is playing Betor, Ancestor's Voice. We didn't play this card during Tarkir Dragonstorm. Still a cool card though, but I'm not sure how this one's going to play out, so we will see. They're going to get a ton of life. We don't really care about that. All we just want to do is just outvalue them to the point where they're just overwhelmed. We have a blue source already, so let's see. I think... let's get out the forest, so if we start ramping, we can totally do that. Sink into Stupor. Pay 3 life. Ouch. Modern Age. We'll start drawing and discarding cards, so... okay. I think for now, we will have to start tossing out the cheap stuff. Or I should say, the expensive stuff. So this way, once we get to that 3rd land drop, we should be able to put down either the Enchanter, Weather Seed Treaty if we want to. We have plenty of options for filtering. Ocelot Pride. Oh boy. That's a scary card. Definitely scary card. Nesting Grounds, okay. Draw a card. We'll throw away Johnny Fells the Godsire. Okay. Weather Seed Treaty. Just start getting that value. Start building up what we need. Get out the mountain. So now we can cast Terra, so that'll be good. Okay, opponents. Long Reach of the Night would be better for us if we could just destroy the Ocelot Pride. But until then, we have to find another way around things. Or also, we could also use summon GF Ifrit here, because that could be a decent blocker for us for time. Okay. It is starting to go off here. Oh, we have Bitter Triumph. That's good. Okay, flip. Put our summon out there. Same thing, we'll discard a card. Let's see. Toss Triumph. Oh, there we go. We have Yuna now, so that'll be good for us. We just need to get to 1 more land, and I think we should be fine here. Okay, Betor. So they do have the City's Blessing now, but if they attack, they will lose their Ocelot Pride. So at least now we have a turn or so to kind of stall out a bit. Monomusa, my second favorite Brawl deck is probably my Veko deck. It's an alchemy card, so you know it's stupid. Oh dear. I mean, if you play alchemy cards, I mean, hey, more power to you. I'm still not a fan of alchemy cards just because of how ridiculous they can be. But hey, whatever works for you, it works for you. Okay. We're not really going to get a hit here. It's mostly just us just trying to... okay, we really need a white source for Yuna to do its thing. It's the only awkward part here. Let's see. Well... Long Reach of the Night. We can start reanimating stuff. Let's see. Snow-covered forest. Alright. Terra coming in. We'll mill 5. Oh, jeez. We could have actually gotten... Actually, hold on. Actually, this is not too bad. Melanomi's Prophecy. We just need a white source. Okay. We have a black source. And we have Rydia. Maybe we'll keep those on top. There is a way through this. It doesn't look like it now, but there is a way through this. So, if we could just get a white source. That's literally all we need to just go off. My kingdom for a white source. But we do have nesting grounds too, so we can kind of fiddle around with things that we need to. Okay, let's see. Can we do this? Makeshift binding. Okay. That's annoying. So, wait, Vector Glider? Or are they gonna... What would they hit? If I was our opponent... Okay, obviously it's gonna be Terra. Let's see. We'll put her back. So even without Terra out, that's not the worst. We really just want Yuna to do its thing. This is really all we need right now. We just need to get Yuna. I was getting cheeky here. Okay. Well, let's see. 4 there. That would kill these two Okay. Not ideal. We'll just block here for the 4. They're going to get the lifelink gain no matter what, so it's not the whole off for a turn. If we can just get to either a black source, which is what we're coming up with right now, the ice tunnel, or Warlord Speaker. All right, need some more life again. We just need to start blowing up some of their stuff here. Their key pieces like Ocelot Pride. We can deal with Betor eventually, but Ocelot Pride and the Johnny's Welcome are not going to help us here. Okay, there goes the life gain. Oh, jeez. All right. So gain the red. Choose a card name. Let's see here. I think I have an idea for this. Wait, no. Binding of the Titans. We'll move a counter. Okay, we'll do that. So that means we can then draw 2 cards off of that. Okay. See if this works. The Binding of the Titans. Draw 2. So we got Rydia. We also can mill 3. Okay. Trying here, everybody. Rydia comes in. So at the very least, also she can reanimate as well. We just need to stall out for a turn or 2. And we should be okay. Oh man, the Birth of Melissus also would have been good here too. Dang. Not quite getting the hits right now. So this is, again, one of the tricky parts about being on a budget deck. Also, your mana base is going to be clunky. We'll try. Okay. Betor is going to start swinging. Happens Pilgrim. Okay. Opponent is tapping out, so that does help us a little bit there. We'll have to stall out for a smidge here. Okay. Opponent is swinging with everything. Okay. Not surprised. Well, let's see. Our Ifrit is going to die anyway, so we might as well just block with it anyways. And then just block with Betor here. We'll deal with the tokens all in a bit. Just trying to stall out. We go up to 61. Ooh. Not ideal, but it's fine. Alright, opponents. Down to 11. We really could use a Wrath right now. Or at least some way of stalling out this whole plan. Okay. But the good news, of course, is we do have Bitter Triumph, so that can be our emergency panic button against the Ocelot Pride. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to try. Okay. Let's make more tokens. That's a scary cat, by the way. Okay. Veneer. Okay, we will eat their 2 creatures to gain some life. Oh, num num num. Okay. Okay. Alright. So they do have a Wrath coming. Let's see. Is there a way out of this? Is there a way out? Okay. We can... Dang, I really wanted Yuna to be in there at this point, but I don't think she's going to make it, so... Summon Veneer. We can stall for maybe one turn here if we're lucky. Get the planes. We can discard it and draw a card. Let's see. At this point, I don't know if we're going to have enough time for Satyr Enchanter, so we'll toss him. Leyline... Oh, jeez. That would have been helpful at least a turn or two ago, but that's okay. Tapped. Okay. Okay, are we dead at this point? Guild Pack goes away. Draw another card. Alright, so... Wait, hold on. Are we dead? No, we probably are dead. We'll just give it this last turn here. I'll let our opponent do their thing. Out of pure desperation, also because I want to deal with that Ocelot Pride. This is mostly now just me being spiteful. Okay, so let's see. Does our opponent... Obviously, our opponent's not going to Wrath. They're just going to swing. Dang. Just not getting that white source really did hurt us for quite a bit there. If we only had that, we probably could have easily stabilized here. Bitter Triumph. Honestly, this is, again, just me just being a little spiteful here, but I want to deal with that. Okay, opponents. Losing their Ocelot Pride. Oh, they don't even... Ah! Okay, fine. You know what? I'm not even going to blah. We're not going to survive the hit anyway, so I'll just take the L. Wow. We got run over once again by one of the most powerful cards from Modern Horizons 3. Ocelot Pride. Big kitty cat that time. That's okay. It's fine, everybody. Not a big deal. We just will chalk that up to, again, just, you know, getting mana screwed there. Not a big deal. We'll move on to the next match, and we'll just have some fun with the next one. All right, let's keep going. We'll get a couple more going with our budget version, and we will be upgrading, of course, to the more powerful version in a little bit. Definitely with that one, we'll have a much more stronger, more consistent mana base. Ocelot Pride is truly a card that does things. Yes, it does. Who would have thought that even when it's nerfed with the alchemy stuff from Arena, it's still a powerful card. Seriously, though, it's just... Yeah. How much is that card going for right now? I think that card is... I think it's still 50, 60 bucks for a single copy. I mean, I would love to have one for one of my token decks, but I am not spending 60 bucks on a single card. That's just ridiculous. Okay. Moving on. Okay, so this looks a lot better. So we do have a command tower for perfect consistency. We have plenty of ways of pulling out land. So looks like this is going to be the ramp package here. We're playing against Tyvar here. So are they playing it Elves? Elf deck? Elf ball? Maybe? We'll see. All right, in the meantime, command tower. Pass. All right, opponent, bring it on.
It's time to do.
All right, so go forth. Let's get our basics going. So let's see. We will then pull out... Let's see. We already have the ideal source there. Let's get out the swamp for now. So at least that's out of the way. Oh, Eldest Reborn. Okay, well, I guess that works out there. Okay, so in the meantime, Snow Covered Swamp. Let's play Birth of Meletis. We'll get out now our basic lane. Cool. That's in our hand. Building up our ramp. So is our opponent playing Stompy, or is it going to be Elves? Okay, they're going to get their ramp going. That's cool. Michiko's Rain of Truth will be good for later on. Let's see. Weather Sea Treaty. On one. So this will help us now dig out... What do we want to dig out with this one? I guess we'll get the mountain. So little by little... Just building up everything we need to eventually get the consistent mana we need to cast Terra. And we should be able to then just go off very quickly here. Oh. Lost one Hydra? Ah. Let's see what our opponent's trying to try to do with that. Okay, so we've changed of plans, everybody. So instead with this, we will play now the Eldest Reborn. Okay. Sorry, opponents, but we cannot have that Hydra go off. So this is why I usually play tabletop. Yeah? I mean, if I could, I would love to play more tabletop. At some point, I would like to. Once again. I have plenty of decks, but I just have no one really to play with currently. I do know there's Spell Table, but at some point, I mean, that's going to be a tricky one for me. But at some point, we will try to see that we can make that a thing. Okay, so we got a 4/4. And it also has trample too. So how do we do this here? Oh, I got it. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Okay, I think this works here. All right. Okay, Tyvar down. Nice. BG goes Rain of Truth. All right. Little Saproling. Big swing. Down to 16 opponents. Oh man, we have actually managed to go off with just a Saproling there. That's cute. That works out. Okay, so ride the Shoe Proof or Shoe Puff. Okay, so Terramorphic Expanse, that's good for us. Let's see, we'll give our pump again. And we'll get okay. We'll get that. I'll take your werewolf opponent. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Elspeth's Nightmare. Say bye-bye to your dinosaur. Okay. And there we go, everybody. Our opponent has had enough. The value from Sagas, everybody. They cannot be beat once they start snowballing. Like, literally, like, enchantments, everybody. Love to see it. So nice. Okay. Still haven't had a chance to really show off how Terra can shine, but definitely Sagas, just in general, are solid either way. So I'm really happy with that. That is good. Oh, thank you for the follow, Mono Musa. I really appreciate that. Thanks again for your support. And again, hopefully you're enjoying the content. Okay, I also have another question I was going to ask everybody. So, for those, of course, who have seen the past couple days, Comic-Con is going on, of course, in San Diego, California. What are your thoughts right now on the Spider-Man cards that are getting revealed? And what are your thoughts on Spider-Man coming to Magic? And also, what are your thoughts on the fact that we're not going to get on Arena Spider-Man? We're going to get whatever... I don't know what they're going to call it. I have no idea. We have yet to see what Arena is going to be calling the Spider-Man card. So it's not going to be like Spider-Man. It's going to be like human spider person in Arena. Let me know your thoughts on how you feel about that overall. We'll keep this hand here. Command Tower was good for us because that can help us just dig out what we need. We do have some removal and we have ways of copying stuff. So this should be solid. Thirsting Roots. Let's dig out a basic. So which one should we get? I think we'll get out the black source. Or actually, you know what? Let's get out our red source, actually. We'll do that. Personally, I want to be more excited for Spider-Man, but I still kind of feel a little with it. Only just because we're not getting actual Spider-Man in Arena. So that feels kind of like meh from what at least how I feel about it. But maybe y'all might have a bit different opinion on that one. Let's see. Okay, so we'll bounce back the command tower. Okay. Oh, I forgot to actually no. Actually, we wouldn't get value after that. Never mind. I was thinking like, wait, Clash the Egons. Oh, that's actually a fight spell. Never mind. Okay. Monomusa. As a person who's seen the leaks, the new keyword is stupid. Which keyword was it? Is it the web slinging keyword? Is that the one? Or are you talking about the mayhem one? I haven't had a chance to read everything over, so I'm still trying to catch up. Alright, so we're getting all of our... We'll get a forest out. So, Fable the Mirror Rigger. Opponent is playing Ugin, so I don't know how we're going to get around that easily enough, but we need to just speed up our process faster than they can. But they're definitely going to start ramping like quick here. Command Beacon. I forgot that's also now in Arena. I don't know if that's going to be helpful for us currently. Eventually it will be. Okay. Witch's Vanity doesn't help us here. Okay. Toxic Deluge is not bad either. That might be what we need. We'll see. We want to make sure the Glaring Fleshraker does not go off here. If they go off, they're going to get a ton of tokens, and that'll be the end of us. So in the meantime, let's see. Discard 2 cards. We can... Actually, no, we won't do it that. I want to keep all of our ramp. So put the command tower back out. We will swing. I doubt they'll block, so this should give us at least one free treasure token that we can use. Oh, yeah, the web-slinging one. I don't know. I read it, and to me, if anybody is happy with Spider-Man, hey, not hating on the fact that you can't play Spider-Man, just, I will have to agree. The web-slinging, I don't know, it feels like bad ninjutsu. I mean, I know it technically has a little bit more to work with than ninjutsu, but I don't know. It still feels a little clunky. I have no idea how it's going to look when it happens, but I guess we're going to have to wait and see on that one. So we're going to lose here our Shaman, but I cannot afford that Glaring Fleshraker to go off, so it's got to go now. I suppose I could have used the fight mechanic too, but we want to save that for some sagas. Okay, Fleshraker down. And we will pass here. Okay, Soul Guide Lantern also could be a problem for us if we have a ton of sagas that we're going to start reanimating, because our opponent is definitely going to try to get all those out of our graveyard. But we'll see if that actually might help or hurt us. It all depends on when they time it. Okay, so this does mean we have some time. So we exile the Fable. Okay. Opponents. Let me flip. There we go. Nice. Now if this can stick, then we're going to have a lot of fun with this one. But we just need to hopefully get our value going. Hold on. We'll play the Escape Tunnel. Terra coming down. If our opponent... The sooner our opponent can use Soul Guide Lantern, the better it is for our deck. But I'm guessing our opponent's going to probably wait until we get a critical mass into the graveyard. Get 5. Okay, so let's get Summon Titan. And we'll pass here. Okay. This is good, actually. We want them to use that now. Because the sooner they use it, the less likely they will get it back. So that provides us time. Okay. Opponent. Thankfully, our opponent is still a little slow. Because we managed to get rid of one of their key parts. So that means Ugin won't be down for a little while. But we do need to hurry. The sooner they put him down, the worse it's going to be for us. Moonsilver Key. Okay. We'll use that to dig out an artifact card. So circling back again, I know I've asked this on several past streams already, but I do want to ask everybody again. Overall, how do you feel right now with the upcoming Edge of Eternities and rotation? Are you looking forward to rotation in Standard? Are you waiting to play Standard coming up yet? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you guys on what you think. Oh, I realize now we were supposed to hit that escape tunnel, but that's okay. Wait, hold on. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, sacrifice that now. So at least we can kind of get Rydia to do her thing. Should be fine. Let's get out a... Let's see, what do we want here? Let's get the green source. Okay, we can start a draw. Opponent. Let's see, we'll throw away the Witch's Vanity for now. Don't need that. Okay. Oh, already opponents? An opponent has had enough already. I guess I'll take another free win. Okay. I guess nobody really wants to play with our Saga deck. I honestly thought they were going to start going off soon, but okay. Yay. So with that, we're going to play... Let's see. Wow. I mean, this deck... I don't know if it intimidates people, but it just feels like I would like to see if I can get like a full value out of the deck. But it seems like a lot of people don't want to deal with sagas. I mean, I don't know if that's anybody else that's played with enchantment sagas before, how you feel. But definitely, we'll do one more, by the way, in budget. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy we're getting our wins with the Saga deck, but it just seems like nobody wants to fight us, at least not fully. Because once we, again, when you snowball with a deck like this, it's very hard to catch up, and I guess a lot of opponents don't want to, they don't want to deal with that. But I mean, that's kind of how it seems like anytime you do any kind of cheaty reanimation or just value train stuff. Usually I'm a very aggro style player, but I'm having a lot of fun with this one. This is definitely going to be a deck that I'll probably keep around in my collection. But until then, let's see here. Play the Trawler. Tapped. So hopefully here we can get Spelunking, and that should fix for us everything we need. Our opponent is playing Quasar, Augur of Agonies. So anytime they draw a card, we will lose a life and they gain a life. So they're going to be doing a lot of card draw coming up. Let's see if that might hurt us. Frequency data over on YouTube there. Hello, my fire friend. Thanks again for joining us today. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. I love Terra. Yeah, I like her too. She's actually pretty awesome. I do like her as a commander here. What is it? She's from, what is it now? Final Fantasy VI? I haven't played Final Fantasy VI, but I hear she's definitely a fan favorite. Has anybody here actually played any of the mainline Final Fantasy games? I've actually only played the side games. So I've played like Tactics Advance on Game Boy Advance. That shows you how old I am, by the way. And I played, and again, this also ages me too. I played Crystal Chronicles on GameCube. So I played some Final Fantasy, just not the mainline ones. But I do need to tell myself at some point we will have to eventually play them. Alright, so let's see. Do we want to bring in Terra now, or do they have removal? Let's try this. Roar of Endless Song. Does this stick? If our opponent's playing these colors, I'm anticipating we're going to deal with counterspells at some point. Until then, make our elephant. Big elephant. Okay. Okay. Island. 4. Are they bringing in their commander? Anguish and Masking. Okay. Dang. They blew up our Saga there, but that's fine. I would rather they use that on our Saga versus Terra. Can we pull this off here? We're going to try. Summon. Primal Odin. This could be a fast win if our opponent does not have an answer. Primal Odin, his secondary ability there, could get us the win if our opponent does not have an answer. Frequency data. I've played 1 to 3, 7, Crystal Chronicles, and Tactics Advanced. Nice! Well, shout out to you, because I felt like at some point, like, did anybody play the Crystal Chronicles game on GameCube, or was I like the only one in existence that did? Obviously I know not, because when they remastered that game, I was so happy to see it on my Nintendo Switch. And it was nice that they actually added in online support, so for a short time, I was really happy to see that there was actually other people that were playing the game. So it was definitely a cute game. I do like the aesthetics of it. I just wish the series... I guess I would say I kind of wish that that series eventually became Nintendo's version of Final Fantasy for their set. Let Sony have the main games, but you could have made Crystal Chronicles into its own little series that would have been actually really fun, I think, for players on that helm. Okay. Out of the games you've played, Frequency did, and I guess I'll ask anybody here, what are your thoughts overall, everybody? If I was to pick any single Final Fantasy game, like in the main line, which one should I play? Which one would you recommend? I'd love to hear from you guys about what your thoughts are on that. Okay, in the meantime here, okay, so we do have our lands. Sith is here. Cannot be cast just yet. We need a white source. We do have Summon Titan, so that might help us out here. Frequency data. To this day, I'm still amazed that no one has done what Crystal Chronicles did with attaching your Game Boy to the GameCube. It was highly innovative for the time. Way back in college, I managed to actually get, at minimum, I was able to get at least 2 of my buddies to actually play with me. So we had a clunky 3-player Game Boy, GameCube fun fest there. It was fun, but I could definitely see why it was a little clunky to make it work. Overall, though, I was still happy with it, all things considered. Because I played 4 players in real life, and managing all the inventory, etc. on your Game Boy was so incredible. It was so much fun back then. I know some players out there were kind of like, yeah, it's gimmicky. It is a gimmick, but it's a hilariously fun gimmick when it goes off. It is definitely something that I would tell people, it's not like anything out there, so it's very unique. Kieran. Okay, opponent right now is going to try to play or tie, and it's probably going to blow up our Titan. There it goes. That's annoying, but it's fine. It's okay. I should at least get a card out of that. So, Arcane Signet, that's good. We could definitely take that. In the meantime, Arcane Signet. Okay. Dang, we can't play this just yet. Okay, so in the meantime, sit this. And let's see here. I guess into the north. Meantime, let's see. Let's get out another white sword. Actually, oh, I forgot. We can get snowlands with this. That's actually good for us. Okay, so let's get out Alpine Meadow. And then we'll play Inquisitive Glimmer. That helps us draw a card. See, this is such a good card. Let's be real about that, everybody. Alright, let's it go. Are we anticipating a Wrath? Because usually when it's like this, our opponent's going to have something, and especially if they have white. Wrath? There it was. No surprise. That's okay, though, everybody. In the meantime, Plan B. We can do Gremlin Tamer, so this will be good. So, I guess we're going to now make a little Gremlin army. And let's see here. We'll pass. So Story Weave could be solid for us if we can get that to go off. I'm trying to wait for our opponent to actually get that commander out there. Maybe that might be our best bet here. Helping Hand. Ooh, okay. Opponent's also got reanimation shenanigans. That's fine. Previously data. Claire Obscura is my most current favorite Final Fantasy game. Okay. Good to know. Unfortunately, I don't have context for that, so you'd have to give me a little bit more reason as to, like, why that is. I mean, granted, that might mean I would get stuff spoiled, but yeah. Let me give you some insight on that. Okay, Nesting Grounds. All right, opponent is going to start doing their Blink shenanigans, Joy. So that means they will do that. Sun Pearl Kirin will bounce back. Storm Tam. Okay. All right, I see their little goofy combo there, but let's see if we can get around that. Okay, in the meantime, Terra coming down. All right, mill something good. What do we get? Okay. Let's get out. Let's see, what can we cast actually? Okay, we'll cast here. Corvault. Make another gremlin. Make a treasure. We'll swing with the Gremlin Tamer. Do you block, opponent? I'm pretty sure you will not. Or at least we'll block with the Otter. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay. I am a slow person. Okay. That's a joke because Claire is really a great turn-based RPG with a great story. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Sorry. I'm a little bit on the slow side here when it comes to stuff like that. So my apologies. Okay, so right now, board state is... Okay, it can still be anybody's game. We definitely have a life edge on our opponent here, but they're going to start bouncing back their wraths in just a moment here. Nurturing Pixie, okay. It's as if our opponent slapped together the standard Pixie bounce deck into a full Brawl deck, and it is going to be very annoying to get through. But we'll find a way. I mean, our opponent can keep blowing our creatures. We actually don't care about that because we'll still get tons of value here in a bit. Okay, opponent's going to blink again. I mean, they can't get any more value, so this will work for us no matter what. All right. Oh, we have our own Wrath, so I guess that's fine. Okay, so Nesting Grounds. How do we... Mana value of 4. That doesn't work. We want to start getting certain things back. Let's see. How... I'm trying to think about like how we do this here. Okay, so I think... Flip Terra. Okay. Triggers off again. +1/+1 counter. Max it out for value. There we go. Value train time. That's a lot of treasures, by the way. And we steal some of their stuff. Let's see. Is there anything else we realistically can do with this? I mean... Sorry, I'm trying to think right now. Is there any kind of additional value we can get here? I think solve the equation. And then from there... Well, okay, Bolligate Recovery is probably our best option here. Alright. Bolligate Recovery. We're going to get there, everybody. We're going to get there. Where do we get back? Sithis at least will help us rebuild. We swing with that, get some life back. Okay, I think we can follow up with this here. And then once... should be good. Get some life. I'm anticipating that Wrath is going to be coming up now. So, by doing this... Yep, opponent swings. They do their shenanigans. Actually, hold on. There we go. I'll block. You can move counting on the Terra to get more spins. You're not wrong on that one, but I'm also anticipating that we're going to get the Wrath right now. So, Flicker of Fate. Before she dies, I might as well just blink her real quick to get some more value into the graveyard. We have plenty of lands now, so that's not the problem. We just need to start... Ooh, Leyline of Guild Pack. We'll take that. That'll help us out with fixing. Back to the command zone. We also have Sithis too, so we should have now everything we need to just start taking everything. Yeah, you're not wrong there. Yeah, definitely a little bit more complicated than I thought here. And I kind of made a couple of maybe misplays, but hopefully they shouldn't hurt us too badly here. Okay, they made their little otter again. Who would have thought such a simple little one-drop here would have been so annoying to deal with. Okay, so we steal stuff from our opponent. Okay, so with that... let's play the Elf Detective. We can exile something from their hand. Sorry, opponent. You lose a card after that. What'd they lose? Okay, ooh, late to dinner? I think that was it? Okay. Well, I guess that helps us out a bit. Okay. Sithis. Leyline of the Guild Pack. Draw a card. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now we're ready. Okay, so next turn, Yuna can come down. And then... we'll do the exiling. Sorry, opponent. You lose your last card. Oh. Oh, I feel dumb. Okay, I forgot that we lose it. Well, I just made the worst mistake ever. Okay, it's fine. It's fine, everyone. It's okay. So we kind of gave them something there. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, it's fine. No, actually, we'll wait. Pass. Once again, every stream I always feel like, yeah, I misread the card. That was a mistake, everybody. I swear. Every time I do a stream, I always do one horrible misplay. Oh, well, I guess it didn't matter anyway, because our opponent gave up anyway. Wow. I had no business winning that because, honestly, we probably should have been punished more for our misplay, but okay. It's fine. It's not like any of us have ever played Magic and kind of had mistakes. It's important to read the cards, everybody. Reading the card explains the card. I think someone famous on YouTube said that once. Yes. Yeah, not the worst mistake ever. Trust me, like, I have done on stream a lot of mistakes, but okay. So with that, feels pretty good, right? The budget version, not too shabby. But what if we took the time to actually upgrade this even more to make it even more stronger? So, you're going to see right here, for the rest of the stream, we're going to take this up to the next level. We're going to go super all out. So, again, this deck is not for the faint of heart in terms of how much you're going to spend. I think this is going to be now like 50 or 60 rare or mythic wildcards, and don't ask me how much this is actually in paper. It's definitely too rich for my blood. We're talking like, I don't know, like $300, $400, $500? I don't remember. But again, links for those... for all these decks I'm putting together will be in the details of the stream once we're done with this. So for the remainder of the stream, we'll be doing the upgraded version. So if you want to see how powerful you can go, this is what we're going to be working with here. We did a major overhaul again to a lot of stuff here. So briefly, I'm just going to talk about this. Obviously, we're going to just go crazier with the mana base here, a lot more consistency. We're going to throw in a bunch of fetch lands, all the shock lands to make sure we can get out everything consistency. We'll throw in a Gonjo. We're going to trim down to just now the basics. No snow lands this time because we don't need them anymore because we have more stronger ramp options. Boseiju, of course. We'll throw in, I guess I mentioned, all the Shocklands from the set. And also the Shocklands will be cheaper if you're playing in paper now because of the upcoming Edge of Eternities, which are bringing them back, which is really sweet. We'll keep in the Arid Archway. As far as our upgraded sources for fetching, we'll have Bloodstained Mire here, we'll have Flooded Strand here, Polluted Delta, Wooded Foothills, Windswept Heath here. You get the idea here, everybody. We're going to be utilizing, of course, the much more stronger options. As far as fixing for 5 colors, we'll use Starting Town, we'll keep the Urza's Cave, we'll have Scavenger Grounds as a much more stronger option for us for exiling graveyards. Keep the Nesting Grounds, of course, Karn's Bastion for proliferating, so this will help us out as well. Keep the Command Tower too. Now, as far as upgrading all the sagas, again, the sky's the limit, and you really can kind of customize this how you want, but I kind of threw in everything that is more or less helpful for us. So for this one, we're looking at getting as many better options for enchantments to kind of slow down our opponents. We're going to throw in Authority of the Consuls here. This buys us time. We're throwing Abundant Harvest here so we can pick either non-land or land, so we need to ramp. As far as the upgrades for all the actual pieces that we're going to need, let's see, sorry, it's going to take me a while to kind of fit through this, but circling back here to the top end, Summon Bahamut here, amazing card for us that we can reanimate, and then making copies of this will be absolutely ridiculous. Testing this out, the moment this hits the field, and you can even make 1 copy, most opponents will just fold quickly on this one, so if we can get that out, that'll be the dream. Kiora beats Sea God here, Kami War, we'll throw in, of course, another Farewell. This will be our more or less our panic button option in case if everything completely falls apart. Elspeth Conquers Death is now going to be coming in. We'll be adding in, let's see, well, actually, no, that's it for the 5-drop slot. For the 4-drop slot, just trying to see if we added in anything that was different from the other one. We'll add in Thassa's Deep Dwelling. This won't affect all of our enchantments, but it is Enchantment Tell, too, so it does go off with some of the stuff we're doing. It's indestructible, so being able to use this to blink back and forth cards like Summon Bahamut here and all of our other powerful enchantments creatures, that can actually be very powerful for us with Thassa here. In terms of the 3-drop slot here, we'll throw in Ghostly Prison here. Slows down our opponent because, we want to just buy time. And this also means that there's going to be a lot of oppressive options to throw at our opponent to kind of completely mess with them. We'll throw in the Restoration of Iganjo here. So again, gets us a plains quickly. Hydroelectric Specimen, Ristic Study. I know some people will feel very kind of on this. You don't have to play this card, but again, we're going to go all out. So that's why we're going to throw in Ristic Study here, even though it is absolutely a dirty card to play with. So again, mileage varies if you want to do that one. Otherwise, anything else in the 3-drop slot? Nothing really crazier by per se. This mostly will be it for there. And then as far as the 2-drop slot, mostly it's going to be kept the same. There's not really anything else we're going to really toss in to make it more stronger, except for maybe Satsuki Living Lore. So same thing, goes well with the deck and all the Saga shenanigans. But otherwise, that's mostly it for everybody. So again, you can still mix and match this how you want to, but this is again what we're going to be working with here for the remainder of the stream. Can this version here of Terra get even more value? Well, only one way to find out, everybody. So let's go ahead. Let's get now the upgraded version going, and let's see how nasty our decking really gets. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
It's time to do.
Right. Okay, so with that, so this should be a lot easier for us to actually cast things. At least it should. Okay, opponents. 30 of the consoles too. Okay. Annoying, but we could deal with that. So that's not horrible for us. Let us get out the shelter. Temple Garden to Sylvan's Scrying. And then we can start building up our mana base. Pearl Medallion. Okay. Opponent is all in on life gain. Very interesting, by the way. Inquisitive Flamer. It's tapped, but all we care about is just making sure our actual sagas will be cheaper to cast. Plains, Mistveil Plains. Opponents. I wonder how much Wrath and Spot Removal they'll have. We'll see. Bloodstained Mire, that's good. So with that, we will shock ourselves here. Sylvan's Scrying. And then from there, we'll get out the Beseiju. So that means we can get rid of Authority of the Consoles, or we can get rid of Pearl Medallion. I guess it really depends on what we have to deal with here. Thankfully, our game plan doesn't rely completely on beatdown. We just want to outvalue our opponents. So we could keep in Authority of the Consoles, because that won't affect, for example, what Terra does anyway, at least for a turn, regardless. Let's see. Fall of Lorconda won't help us just yet. Let's see. And then... Okay, so what do we want to hit here? Do we hit the Authority, the Pearl Medallion, or the Mace? Pearl Medallion will slow them down. Authority means we can have blockers. The Mace won't be a powerful threat, so that's going to be what we're looking at there. All right, tricky one there. No attacks yet. Still trying to think though. Which one do we want to? Okay, Daxos. Ugh. Not sure what we want to hit there. Okay, Binder's Talent, Builder's Talent. Okay, they make a token. This will be scary once it comes online. Opponent swings. Okay, let's slow them down. So we get rid of the Pearl Medallion. That does mean they get a lands, but overall, we can slow them down. So that'll be less stuff for us to deal with. Junkai Naturalist will be fine too. Crack that. Bloodstained Mire. We will get out... I think we'll get out... Blood Crypt. Ugh, this is so painful. But we have to do it. Terra. Gain life. Mill. We will get out Elspeth Conquers Death. Let's see. Still can't really play the Fall. Ooh, MTG Tracker. Ugh. I knew I forgot something for the deck. So yeah, I'll probably do that. So I'll have to do a quick swap out to get MTG Tracker. That was the card we had to throw into the deck. Man, can't believe I forgot that. But to be fair, I mean, when you play the game long enough, you eventually will forget certain cards in various decks you build. But yeah, we got to throw that in there. Okay. Splendid Angel. Swinging hard. Down to 7. Okay. So with that, opponents, level 2. Okay, so Elspeth Conquers Death. Thankfully, will save us here for 1 turn. So Angel goes bye-bye. And then sink into Stupor. Oh boy. So wow, we're really hurting ourselves a ton here. But hopefully we will be able to rally back here quick. Okay, opponent. Okay, Reverend Hoplite. That's a lot of value coming to our opponent there. A lot of tokens. Oh dear. A lot of life gained. Yikes. Opponent will not swing. Discard. Daxos is gone. We'll throw away the Fall. Okay, opponents. All right. How do we get out of this? Is there a way out of this? We can flip. Yeah. I don't know. Did we... I think already we're down on this one. I mean, I could flip Terra. Extra copy. Get all the value. Okay. Hoplite goes bye-bye. Fall again. Recovery. Yeah. Just couldn't get it there, everybody. So that one was a quick one. It's okay. Our opponent was able to go off there very quickly, making those tokens. I was not expecting that to be what they were playing, but that's okay. Real quick, I did forget. Yeah, Energy Tracker probably would be a better option for us. So with that, we'll find it real quick. All right, so Biggest advantage that one has is it has flash. So that's what we want. What do we get rid of then for it? Satyr Enchanter is nice too. Let's see, maybe we'll have to cut one of our smaller, weaker options here. Okay. I forgot we also added in High Noon. I'm not sure if actually High Noon might help us out too much. That might actually hurt us a little bit more. So we'll cut the High Noon for now. Okay, so there we go. And I'll make, of course, the adjustments for the actual finale for the actual link for this whole deck. So if you're interested, everybody, don't worry. That is coming eventually. All right, here we go. Let's do this.
It's time to do.
Yeah, all right. Okay, so we did get a Authority of the Consoles, but no way to cast it. That's awkward. Okay, it's fine. We still have a go forth, so that can help us get out for the Authority of the Consoles. So we'll do that. Our opponent is playing Roxanne. So we got a cat making a bunch of tokens. We'll keep this. We'll see. Opponent's doing the mulliganing, so I guess that's good for us. That gives us a little bit more to work with here. Okay. Forest for our opponents. Stomping grounds. Shock ourselves. Okay, opponent. Mountain. Okay, they got the pick. Go forth. Let's get out our white source. So get out of plains. Weather Sea Treaty will be nice for later. Authority of the Consoles. Cool. So this definitely slows down our opponent a bit. So even if they put out creatures out there, we will get some life to hopefully stabilize for a bit. Okay, demand answers. Okay, draw some cards. Cool. Digigo's Rain of Truth. That's good for later. We will then play the Weather Sea Treaty. On one. Get our other basic. Let's get out this time. We'll get out of Mountain. Okay, so this means Terra can then come out. Supreme Verdict will be nice for later. Horrible Noble Thief. Make that treasure. So get the Stupor tapped. Okay, so we are building our mana base pretty quick here, so this is good. Roxanne coming down. Does gain us life, so that's good. We lose our little sapling, but that's not a huge deal for us. Another treasure. Let's see, we will get Terra now. Come on, deck. Give me some value. Oh, that's a lot of lands we lost there, but that's okay. Get the Prophecy. Use this to scry. Okay, Nesting Grounds will be good for later, too. Keep that all there. And that's it for now. Okay. If our opponent starts making... Let's see. I've actually wanted to play Roxanne for a little while on another deck, but I haven't quite figured out the plan for her yet. Although I think with Edge of Eternities, I think we'll have an option for that coming up. But until then... Oh boy. Okay, so our opponent is trying to swing here heavily. They destroy Terra, of course. It's okay, though. We do have a rat, so this will be fine for now to help us keep things clear. Steal the cards from our opponent here. Let's see, what do we name? I guess we'll name Terra so we can bring her back later on. Wait. They don't have it in there. Okay, fine. Okay, name her. Thank you, opponent. I'll take those. So with that, we'll take their mountain, which is nice. Let's see. Wrath the Bull. Okay. Phew. Okay. Buried treasure. And thank you, opponents. I would like to look for a basic land. So we'll get on our next basic, our last forest. Okay, there we go. They do get it back, though, so that's a little annoying, but it's not the worst for us. Okay, so with that, Let us get out... Get out the World Tree. Okay. And we should be good there. So with World Tree out, now we can have all of our mana fixed perfectly. Roxanne comes back again. She makes another token. Hits us again with Meteorite. They sundered Terra. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Annoying, but that's fine. We will definitely make our way back with her soon. Terra, Sunder. I do like that. Nice. Okay, equip. Okay. Ooh, entity tracker, that's good too. So, World Tree. So now everything's fixed. Okay, now we'll do it. Draw the 2. Mill 5 cards. Okay, we'll get back the Naturalist. We will blow away their Swiftwater Cliffs. They do get another land out of that, which is annoying, but that's fine. Getting that out means that Roxanne can be targeted still. And we do have now also spot removal to deal with her anyway. Okay, what do we discard? The Reign of Truth for... Actually, no, we have plenty of land, so we'll throw away the Forest. We honestly don't need any more lands at this point. We mostly have everything we need. We just need to start going off quick. Balta. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, old Gnawbones. Okay, maybe we might have a change of plans here. Okay. Buried Treasure. They discover. Okay, what do they get? Quick Draw. So that means Terra might have to block here. Wait, no. First Strike? Wait, how does that work again? Okay, so we still lose it anyway. Back to the command zone. Okay, we need to find a way to survive this. They have tons of mana. Okay, so... Nesting Grounds. Wow, okay. Ugh. Not what I want to deal with here. Okay. How do we survive this? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we have 8 mana. We need to survive long enough to get to the summon Primal Odin. That means we need at least... Let's see. Trample is gonna suck. Junkai Naturalist. Gives us life gain. And leaves us with 2 mana open. Gremlin Tamer. And pass. So, at this point, we need to destroy Galta. Because with Trampo, we will lose. Opponent's got an Abrade. Oh, come on. They actually have an Abrade. Okay. That's fine. We can still chump block with Junkai if we have to. Okay. Galta goes bye-bye. I'm surprised our opponent didn't go to base there for that one. They actually could have killed us there a little bit quicker, but okay. Okay. We're still somehow alive. But barely. Okay, in the meantime, Entity Tracker. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, nope. Oh, no, I fudged this up. Well, actually... Nah, I realize now no matter what we would have done there, even if I blew up the old Gnawbones, we didn't have enough to... Okay, Smothering Tithe. Yeah. There was just, we couldn't have pulled it off there. I fumbled that one. Okay, everybody. Well, I'll take the L on that one. Dang. Okay, it's fine. I realized I miscounted my mana there, but the idea that I was going to try to do was, okay, so summon Primal Odin, destroys old Gnawbones, and I realized, let's see, with the 8 that I had, I probably could have had Garnet block Roxanne. Well, actually, no. Even if I realized if I try to block Roxanne, they would just use their ability to blow her up, or just go to face anyway, so yeah. It wouldn't have mattered. That's okay, everybody. Not a big deal. It's okay. Just shake it off, and we're going to try again. Huh. Non-budget one is not working as well as I thought, but we are facing off against more higher-powered opponents. I mean, that does make sense when you play in Arena, because they're gonna try to awkwardly balance you versus players that have a similar power level of deck. Or at least that's what I understand. Okay, so it's okay. Moving on. It's okay. We're gonna get a win with this next one. I know we can. We totally can do it. So hopefully we will have some fun with this one here coming up. Let's go. Let's do this.
It's time to do.
Yeah, all right. All right, so let's see what we got here. Okay, got our wooded foothills. Let's see. Naturalist will be nice once we can start getting stuff going. Bath Song will be okay too. Get the wooded foothills. Okay, so let's see. Can we do this here? Swamp. Our opponent is playing Sauron of many colors. Opponent. Turn 1 Thoughtseize in Brawl. Boo. Wow. They actually got that on turn 1 there? That's disgusting. So what did they throw away? Thassa. The Naturalist. Rydia. They threw away Thassa. I guess that's fine, because we can always just bring her back anyway. I was actually thinking Rydia probably would have been the better hit, or Junkai Naturalist. But okay, either way. So, in the meantime, let's get out. We need a green source to make sure the Naturalist can do its things. So, let's get Breeding Pool. Tapped. Junkai Naturalist. Won't help us out too much here until we get some more lands, but hopefully this will make things a little easier. If I can get to the Bath Song, that should be good for stabilization. Or not. Heartless Act. Okay. Well, it's got the removal. That's fine. Swiftfoot Boots. No land, so... Alright. Come on, deck. Give me lands. That's all I need. Okay, they shock themselves down to 21. Ashiok. Ugh. Ashiok. The mill there is going to hurt us a ton. So we're going to lose key pieces that we definitely want. Alright. Still... Wow, we're not getting our third land drop. That's not good. Ugh. Ooh, boy. But it's now going to start... If we don't get a land on the next turn or so, we're not going to be able to make this one. Yeah, got more stuff. And we have no way of defending ourselves right now. Thirsting Roots. Not ideal, but come on. Is there any basic lands left? Oh, that's right. Ugh. Can't even do that with Ashiok here. Wow, we're completely... We're locked out. Okay, come on. One more... Just one more thing is all I need. Come on, deck. Come on. If we don't get on the next turn here, I'm just going to concede, because this is not going to be really fun for us, and we're just going to sit here and do nothing. Okay. Snowcover Plains. Anything else, opponents? Thought Erasure? Okay. Okay, if we don't get another land on the next turn here that can help us do anything, then we're just done. Okay. Deck, do you have an option for us? More milling. Okay, yeah, we can't cast anything. Okay, just forget it. Wow, terrible there. Did we have fun? No, of course we didn't, so I'm going to be sad-faced there. Alright. Okay, shake that one off. That was just a non-game. Those ones kind of stink. Just feels like you're just kind of wasting time. Anywho, we'll keep going. We'll keep trying. Not going to give up. Okay, so we're still trying to hopefully get at least one good, solid win with the upgraded version. We did pretty well, of course, with the non-budget version, so I was very happy and satisfied with how that turned out. So we'll see right here what we can do. Okay, opponent is playing Layla here. Are they playing the gimmicky shenanigans they're going to do here? Oh, jeez. I hope they're not. But we'll see. We'll see what they try to do here. Okay, so in the meantime, we have lands. We could do Binding of the Titans. We have Fell the Profane. So we kind of have what we need. All depends on if our opponent's going to try to do that gimmicky thing here. I know that it's a gimmick. So for those that don't know, Layla here, so when she attacks, you exile the top card of your library, and you can play that card this turn. Usually it's a bunch of lands. No, I don't think they're mulliganing to get what they need. So it seems like they are playing the gimmick deck. And then whenever one or more cards are put into exile from library or the graveyard, they have to exile. Okay, so as you can see, our opponent is trying to do the shenanigans here. So they're going to try to exile all the lands they have in the deck to get Layla to get super strong, and then hopefully try to get the gimmicky one-shot kill against us. Can we stop them? I think we'll find out right here. So, tapped. Okay. If we can get to that Fel the Profane, we hilariously can stop them in one shot here. It all depends on if we can do this. Okay, Inquisitive Glimmer. Alright. Okay. And Binding of the Titans. Okay, opponents, if we get to do their thing... Yeah, so... Not surprised. Yeah, so it's the gimmick. We'll see if we can try to do it, though. Okay, the Layla doing its thing. They exile one card. They get one pump. But they want to try to get to this amount. Eat the lands. Not that it makes a difference. Let's see here. Stomping Grounds. Terra. So we're just going to literally use Terra just to block. Okay. Ghostly Prison. Ironically, this could stop for a turn. Okay, no blocks. Not that it matters. We just literally just need to slow her down with any means. Opponents. Oh, okay. So let's see here. Let's actually, we'll just get the mountain. So we're gonna do something hilarious here. Sundering Eruption. The Sundering Eruption blows up their hidden volcano, so they can't even do their Discover shenanigans. Now what, opponents? You have another option? No, you don't. There we go. Not really I want to consider that a true victory, but hey, if we can stop their gimmick, I'll take that one. Too bad, opponent. No dirty, cheap wins for you today. Denied. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I guess that's a win I've been looking for, but nothing fancy, but I'll take it. So, for those of you also that are unaware right now, if you are curious, I let everyone know as a friendly reminder that these streams, as much as I enjoy streaming, again, we do want to remind everybody that, again, we're getting close to the end of the stream. We usually only do about 2-ish hours of streaming, mostly just because this little Fireball is very, very busy, and he tries to take care of a lot of other things. So these little moments here and there throughout the day that I can stream, I try to do when I can. I still appreciate all of you that, of course, have shown up today to show me the love of just being here. So thank you again, everybody, for that. I really do appreciate all of you guys. And if you do want to support me a little bit more, all you have to do, again, is just like, follow, and subscribe wherever you're watching the content. If you want to support me with monetary value, i.e. a little bit of money there, for $3 a month, you can join the Patreon and get access to all of the videos that we do out there. I try to squeeze out there, whenever I can, extra bonus footage. We will try to put together some more exclusive stuff for our patrons out there. And even if you don't want to do that, simply for free, just join the Discord. That link, I think, has been scattered throughout the course of the video, so be sure to check that out if you can. So again, your additional support is all I appreciate. So thank you for that. All links, of course, will be in the details below once the stream is over. In the meantime, though, Laughing Jasper Flint. Oh boy, it's this card too. All right, our opponent's going to try to do some sneaky stuff here, trying to steal our cards. In the meantime, however, we're going to try to slow them down. All right, get a planes. So we're going to use this with Authority of the Consuls. That's the idea here. Okay, so Laughing Jasper Flint can come down next turn. There you go. And then he's going to start trying to steal our stuff here. We still are a turn out from actually blowing him up. But we'll try. Okay, so how do we do this here? authority of the consoles. That down. Hydroelectric specimen. Okay, opponents gonna start stealing our stuff. Okay, so they took our summon, which is not a hit I wanted to see, but it is what it is. Okay, opponents. What else you got? Visible Harvester. Okay. Enters tap, so we do get a little bit of life from that. Let's see. We'll block here. We do lose the specimen, though. But we want to make sure things don't trigger off for a bit. That's what we're waiting for. Okay, in the meantime, let's get out Command Tower. Put that down. Put down Terra. Mill. Oh, actually I didn't mean to actually hit that so quickly there. I misclicked. That's okay. It's fine. Opponent is going to keep stealing our stuff. Ugh, I hate my stuff getting stolen. Not one of the more less enjoyable things about Magic is stealing stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. We do steal stuff in some of our decks we built, but it's not a mechanic that I enjoy personally. Although I know that most people don't like their stuff counterspelled, stolen, or I think milled. I think those are like mostly the main things that most Magic players dislike. I feel like I should make a poll on that at some point about what you dislike the most mechanic or thing that people do in the game. Let me know what your thoughts are on the most disliked thing that you have when it comes to your deck. Do you dislike your stuff getting stolen? Your graveyard getting exiled? Do you dislike, like, burn? I would love to hear from you guys on that. What you mostly dislike when it comes to facing off against opponents. Meantime, our opponent here is taking their sweet time to figure out what they want to do. Okay, Logger Trawler. Okay. They take it. We do lose a chunk of stuff, but not the worst. Not the worst exile effect we've seen. Okay. Opponents, Reno and Rude. Okay. We do gain some life, too, from that. Opponent's going to swing. Jeez, okay. We're going to block Jasper. Commander for Commander. But it does buy us a little bit of time. Because that's all we're looking for right now. Whew. Okay, so, opponents, do you bring back your commander? You get the choice on that one. Maybe. Opponents. Hello? Opponents, you there? Oh, maybe they went to go run get a package from Amazon. Okay. Opponent, if you take any more time, I actually probably could use the restroom right now. Not that I actually was planning on doing that right now. But at some point, I would like to have this go. Or maybe our opponent disconnected too. That's possible. I have no idea what's going on here. I feel like I'm just going to literally walk away right now and just go get some water. I am a little parched. Okay. Opponents, if you're not there... Okay. I'm going to let this sit for a second, everybody. I'm going to go grab myself something to sip on. So, watch the timer, everybody. All right, and I'm back. Opponent, you're still not there yet? Okay, fine. I guess we'll just hydrate for a little bit here. I know, fireball hydrating. What would a fireball actually want to drink that actually would hydrate a fireball? Okay, there you are, opponent. Finally, okay. Okay, not trying to be pushy, but okay. Okay, they do the thing. Binding of the Titans. Oh. They didn't want to bring out their commander? Do they think they're that much in charge? Okay, Inquisitive Glimmer. Junkai Naturalist. We will play Binding of the Titans. Do some more milling. And let's see, do we want the Bolligate recovery to be... I guess we'll just play it. Okay, so... I'm very surprised our opponent did not bring back Laughing Jasper Flint. Or are they literally just not there? Or maybe they just clicked on stuff and just walked off. Any day now, opponents. If I end up getting a win just because they're not there, I kind of don't want to win that way, but I guess I'll just take it. If nothing else, it just helps us get the dailies done a little quicker. Oh, man, because I was really hoping we were going to actually be able to stabilize here. This actually would have been nice. Maybe our opponent really did disconnect. I don't know. I don't know. But while our opponent is hopefully going to try to reconnect or anything like that, I have another question for everybody. So we did see at least one extra card from the Avatar The Last Airbender set, or I guess from other countries. What's that called? Legend of Aang? What are your thoughts right now on the Avatar set coming out? Oh, maybe our opponent really did just disconnect. Oh, well. I mean, again, not the way I want to win, but hey, I guess it helps us out a little bit there. Okay, I'm looking at the clock, everybody. We're going to have one more match. I really hope this will be actually a genuine one. This will be our final match for the day, everybody. Win or lose. After this, we will do our quick wrap-up of the decks. We'll talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then we'll go over again, what are we planning on doing for the next future set of streams that we're going to be doing over the next couple days. So, hang in there, everybody. We're almost done for today. But again, I do apologize that we cannot quite stream as long as I would like to. But I still am happy to see a lot of new faces today and some returning faces to the stream. So thank you again, as always, for your support, everybody. If you missed any part of the stream, do not worry. All the replays will be up across all the socials that you see off to the bottom of the screen right there. So across YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and X, they will all have various copies of their own. And they'll all have their own respective info, depending on whichever platform you're on, to check out, again, all the information about what's happened today. Okay, we cannot... Dang, we can't cast anything with his hand here. All right, free mulligan. Okay. Not ideal, but it does have removal, so I guess we'll keep his hand. Opponent's playing... Ooh, Joda. Ugh, that might be a problem. So for now, tapped. Can we get through Joda and outvalue them? Mindstone. Okay, we will see. We can't play anything yet. Okay, deck. If this is the time for you to help me curve out, now is the time. Black Bar Connections. That is a bit of a risky move. Dang, we did not get... Wow, we did not get any of our stuff we need. Okay, come on, deck. Just literally, I just need one more land. One more land and we can do our thing. Please? I'd like to actually have a good final match. Okay, opponents? Anything else? Come on. Okay. Opponent, are you there? Please tell me you're there. I wouldn't want to make this a non-match for the final one. Or if not, I might have to try to... Maybe I might have to squeeze in another game after this. This is a non-game, because it's kind of boring. It wouldn't be a very fun finale for us. Oh, Pyrex scenario. Okay. Opponent is very greedy here. I mean, I can understand why to a degree, but okay. Not the land we wanted just yet, but this will help us fix eventually. Okay, we just need to get to... Okay. Wow, our opponent really is trying to make sure they fix. Okay, Jetmir's Garden. Maybe Triomes probably would have been better for the deck. I'm not sure. Would Triomes have been a better option for us for a 5-color Saga deck? Let me know, everybody, what you think on that one. Or maybe we should have put more basics. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, Story Weave. Okay, Weather Sea Treaty. Okay, so we get this to resolve. That means we can dig out in a basic, and we can hopefully just keep building our value. Okay. Okay, we will get out another basic. It has to be a plains, though, in order for us to do the rest of our stuff. Maybe? Opponents, hello? Okay, got the plains. Okay. Opponents. Alright, they're still there, sort of. They are going to take a lot of damage here. I know they want Joda out immediately, based on how they're playing their deck. But I'm guessing that means that we're going to be either in a good spot or a bad spot very quickly here. Solana. Alright. We can deal with that. That's not a problem for us. Okay, if only it was mana value 2, this actually would have been perfect for Witch's Vanity. That's okay. We still have ways of getting around stuff. Okay, opponents. Okay, well, our opponent is kind of playing, but not really. A little fragmented here. They are hurting themselves a lot, though. They're at 14, but their greed is slowly going to pay off if we're not careful. We have to find a way to get around their stuff. Assemble the team. Ooh, alchemy cards. Not my favorite. It is powerful, but I refuse to play it. I like, that's been a personal rule of mine, which is I don't want to play any alchemy cards. I really don't want to. Okay. Heartless Act. So, that's got to go. We'll draw a card. And, well, I guess we'll hurt ourselves. Wait, can we hurt ourselves here? Is that worth it? Okay, it is. We'll tap. Junka Naturalist. We do have a way of cheapening stuff, so that's fine. Okay, down to 13. Do you make another treasure? Creature? Make a treasure. Okay, they're down to 12. Yeah, just alchemy cards, everybody. It's not my thing to deal with. Okay, I'm just trying to get a little cheaty here. But we will try. Okay, Omnath. Ugh. Losing those turns, unfortunately, to just not being able to get things out has been really painful for us, and now it's coming back to bite us a bit. Breeding Pool, alright. Make it a 6/6. Okay, so we now have fixed mana, which is good. But is that enough for us? Let's play Terra. Mill, mill, mill. Come on, give me a good hit. Okay, Long Reach of the Night. That's actually not horrible. Okay, I think we could work with that. Most likely our opponent's going to discard a card, because they're not going to lose this combination of legendary creatures. But it's all just to make sure we can get stuff going. Okay, they threw away Omnath because they don't want to give us any more information. That's fair. Swing, because I doubt they will want to block. This should be a free hit for us. Ooh. Oh, wait, I forgot. That's actually an 11-11. Wait, what was I thinking right there? What was I thinking? I thought, like, okay, I'm just going to swing and just get some free damage. But I ended up just losing our Junkai Naturalist. It's okay, everybody. They're at 11. Most likely going to go to 10. We still have Inquisitive Glimmer, so we can do stuff still. See, again, not a fan of alchemy cards. Free value. Not cool. Vorinclex. Oh, it might be over here. I don't have a way of dealing with this much value. Alright. Well, this is going to be a very sad way to end the stream. Our opponent is just going to play a pile of legendary nonsense here. Vorinclex alone kind of shuts us off completely, because once that's out, we cannot tap anything down. It's just, that's just not fun to play with. Dang, I just wish we had removal. If we had removal, we might have a shot. But without the Wrath, there's nothing else we can do with the deck. So let's go ahead and see. Yeah, see. Look at all that value. Just disgusting. Opponent swings. Walk here. Down to 3. Not that it matters anyway. We're cooked no matter what. Okay. Opponent will just discard a card. And then, is there anything else we can blow up at all? Well, I mean, Witch's Vanity can kind of do one thing. Sort of. That locks out the rest of our stuff. And yeah, even if I was able to flip anything, we just can't. So we couldn't get the combo off everybody, which is a bit of a shame too. I hate Vorinclex. Honestly, I hate that deck completely. It just is just way too much, and you can't play your game. Okay, well, I did say that was the last one, everybody. Unfortunately, we didn't really get a good ending for that one, unfortunately. But that's okay. It is what it is. And sadly, though, I do have to end this stream in just a little bit. But before we go, as always, I do, of course, want to mention, let's kind of give an overview and let's kind of talk about the deck overall. So, how do we feel about the deck overall, everybody? Do you like this deck? Would you play this deck in any way, shape, or form? Truth be told, I actually really did like how Saga of Terra was, even on a budget. It actually felt very fun. There's a lot you can definitely do with the deck, and I really do enjoy how it all turned out. We actually got quite a few good wins with it. All things considered, we were actually able to get a ton of good value. We didn't get a chance to do too often enough flipping of Terra. We got it to do it at least once. So you can definitely see when it does its thing, it is hilariously fun. But it definitely has a lot to work with. The one thing I would say that's kind of like an with this deck is just be mindful that how you build up your sagas and everything, just again, tweak it how to make sure that you can just don't get mana screwed. That's mostly what it is. I probably would tweak the deck to more to make sure I would actually maybe cut out a couple of sagas just to give us a little bit more value with getting basics out. Maybe I probably would skew it more towards having a couple more basics so we can take advantage of some of the ramp better. But again, your mileage varies on that one. I would still recommend this for anybody that does like playing enchantments, likes playing sagas. Still solid. You could play again Tom Bombadil. You can play Terra. They're both again great. As far as the upgraded version, I really wanted this one to go off, but we just didn't get a chance to do it. We ended up facing off against opponents that completely hosed us, which is kind of awkward because when I tested this deck out, it actually did really well. But unfortunately, this time around, it kind of underperformed. That's not to say this deck is bad. Just know that maybe we probably would tweak the mana base maybe a little bit more to make it more consistent. That does mean you might run the risk of having more tap lands, but again, your mileage varies really dependent on what you want to do. Now, overall, I still would say this is going to be fun whichever way you want to go, budget or non-budget, however you want to build it. Definitely fun to play a 5-mana enchantment pile here, even if it does look a pile. It is fun and it does have its moments of consistency. Really just depends on when you want to cast Terra. But otherwise, that's going to be it, everybody. But before we go, just a quick little thing as to what are we going to do for the next couple of things. So obviously, if those of you who stuck around this far, normally this is when I say my true fire friends, you got to get a sneak peek as to what's to come for the next stream next week. However, we can't really show you anything because the cards are not here yet. What I mean by that is our next stream will be us debuting with Edge of Eternities. That'll be out around Wednesday, I'm guessing, is mostly what we're hoping to shoot for. We're going to try to go back to our usual schedule of Wednesdays and either Friday or Saturday, but one of those days we'll definitely have our first live stream. From there, I'm going to see if I can try to put up maybe a poll, if not Saturday, maybe Sunday, just to kind of ask all y'all what you want to see being built for the first deck tech. So not a live stream, but a deck tech for the next week going into August, once we get to Edge of Eternities proper. That's going to be up on the horizon, everybody. As far as anything that to mention right now, we're going to be still working on basically Zada here. The deck, of course, is done. I just need to finish doing the last minute recordings, and then we'll go through all the edits. We'll talk about this deck in full in its own proper video soon. Beyond that, we will do the Basically series continuing, so this will be, again, the series for those that don't know, an ultra-budget series of deck techs that don't use any rares or mythics for the Brawl section. If you're looking for 60 hard versions, those have all been set, like literally I spent the whole year and some to build every single color combination and make simple, fun, beginner-friendly, budget-friendly decks across every color, and they're all going to be they're all completely playable in Pioneer. So that's actually something you want to check out if you haven't done so already. I am very happy and proud about those decks. And we're going to do that series all over again here with Brawl decks. That actually you can also convert also into paper Commander, because they run usually between 30 and 40 bucks. So pretty fun overall. And they're going to be available for everybody up on the channel. So check those out if you haven't already done so. But otherwise, that's going to be it for today, everybody. Final thing, of course, is, as always, a shout out to everybody that was here today. So shout out to those of you that I see in the chat. So Den Splendid, thanks again for joining us today. Our new fiery friends, Mono Musa and Birdie Man, thanks again for joining us today. I really appreciate you guys. Frequency Data, also over on YouTube. Thanks again for popping in for a little bit there. Shout out to you as well. Those of you that were also on other platforms I see, like Instagram here. So again, one more time, a shout out to Simply Herc, born in 91. My mistake on that one. And then, of course, AWB, the hobbyist. Thanks again for joining us there. Even if you didn't say a word, that's perfectly fine. I'm so happy with you guys lurking just the same. And everyone else that is here, same thing. If I don't see you on the chat or if I don't see your name, I do apologize for that. But again, still appreciate you guys showing up just the same as always. But that's going to be it for today, everybody. We're going to be ending the stream here and now. So have a wonderful day, everybody. Enjoy your weekend coming up. If you're going to be out there for pre-release for Edge of Eternities, have a lot of fun today. Enjoy getting some sweet brand new cards. And hopefully you're looking forward to rotation, as I am, upcoming in the next week or so. We'll be back again, hopefully on Wednesday, to do a little bit more with a brand new set and a fresh new look on the standard format. So with all that said, as always, just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. See you again on Wednesday, everybody. Later.